Welcome back to EPG-Every Platform Gamer, the channel where we cover gaming news and do deep dives across PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, PC, all of it. This is our deep dive for Shinobi, Art of Vengeance, a stylish revival that mostly earns its name, but does it live up to the legacy which came before? Let's get into it. Released on 29th of August 2025, Shinobi Art of Vengeance marks Sega's long-awaited return to one of the most iconic action franchises, reimagined as a hand-drawn 2D action platformer by Lizard Cube, the studio behind Streets of Rage 4, with Joe Musashi once again taking centre stage. The game attempts to bridge nearly 4 decades of legacy with modern design sensibilities. Largely it succeeds, though not without a few missteps. The most immediately striking element of Art of Vengeance as its hand-on visual style, which has been widely praised across reviews. Lizard Cube's Pantelli approach results in richly detailed background, fluid character animations, and a colour palette that shifts dramatically between stages, lantern-lit villages, industrial foundries, deserts, and neon-soaked cityscapes all feel distinct and deliberate. Multiple critics have described the game as one of the most visually impressive 2D titles, and its generation, noting that screenshots often resemble illustrations rather than game assets. Said the speed of combat can sometimes make it hard to appreciate the finer details, an ironic downside to having such lavish animation. At its core, Shinobi Art of Vengeance is a fast-paced 2D action platformer with light Metroidvania elements. Levels feature branching paths, hidden upgrades, and the ability-gated routes that encourage exploration without overwhelming players. Movement is responsive and aggressive, built around rapid dashes, wall jumps, air mobility, and tight enemy encounters. Combat checkpoints and stage layouts borrow selectively from modern design trends, but the game ultimately remains closer to a traditional arcade-bred action title than a fully open Metroidvania. Some reviews have criticised occasional ambiguity in level direction and a few difficulty spikes, but most agree that the overall framework is satisfying and consistent. Sound design is another standout. Sega enlisted T. Lopez, who's the main composer, and Yuzo Koshiro, whose history with the franchise dates back to The Revenge of Shinobi, to score the game. The soundtrack blends modern electronic percussion with melodic callbacks to classic Shinobi themes, creating a bridge between old and new. Stage music dynamically shifts during combat, and bosses are frequently accompanied by high-energy tracks that heighten tension rather than drown out gameplay cues. Sound effects, steel clashes, enemy deaths, and ninjutsu activation are deliberately sharp and minimal, reinforcing the game's precision-focused combat. A mention here of note is Yuzo Koshiro. We at EPG are massive fans of his. This dude is a total legend and a world-famous DJ and producer. His compositions in Sega games include smash hits like Shinobi franchise and Streets of Rage, among others. Those of us who have been playing Sega games for a long time will know the name and soundtracks being referred to. The music is great. Koshiro is a legend and really deserves a salute here when talking about Shinobi games of old. Combat revolves around free-flowing combo chain, blending light and heavy attack, aerial strings, kunai throws, special techniques, and situational execution. Reviews consistently highlight how expressive the system becomes once players unlock more abilities and amulets. Rather than relying on lengthy move lists, the game encourages experimentation through timing, positioning, and enemy manipulation. High-skill play is rewarded with faster clears and resource efficiency, echoing the mastery-driven design of classic Shinobi titles, while embracing modern flashing. However, a few critics have noted that the casual gamers may find the difficulty curve unforgiving early on, particularly before upgrades meaningfully expand combo options. The Shinobi series began in 1987 as an arcade action title developed by Sega, introducing Joe Musashi as a flagship character during the late 1980s ninja boom. Throughout the Mega Drive era, the entries like Revenge of Shinobi in 1989 and Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master in 1993 became benchmarks for 2D action design. The franchise later experimented with 3D on PlayStation 2, Shinobi in Nightshade, and handheld iterations. Though momentum slowed after the 2011 Nintendo 3DS release, Art of Vengeance is the latest release in the series, arriving after more than a decade of dormancy. Most critics agree that Shinobi Art of Vengeance successfully respects and revitalizes the franchise by returning to 2D gameplay, emphasizing precision combat and involving creators closely tied to Sega's heritage. The game feels like a deliberate homage rather than a reboot, true in name only. That said, it does not attempt to replicate the old games wholesale. Its increased mechanical complexity, darker narrative tone, and modern pacing may not appeal to every purist. Storytelling, while more prominent than in older games, remains relatively shallow by contemporary standards. Shinobi Art of Vengeance is not a flawless revival, but it is one of Sega's strongest modern reimagining. Its art direction and music are exceptional. Combat depth is rewarding, and the core experience honors what made Shinobi special without being trapped by nostalgia. Minor issues in pacing, onboarding, and narrative prevent it from universal acclaim, but as a modern action platformer rooted in classic design, it convincingly earns its place in the franchise's long history. At EPG, we are still holding out hope for a fully 3D Shinobi action game. Alan Ninja Gaiden, maybe Sega can let Platinum make the game. It's long overdue, and Sega has some incredible franchises and IPs, and as lifelong Sega fans, we would love to see some of them reborn on modern platforms for gamers to enjoy. We hope you like this deep dive into the Shinobi franchise. Like, comment and subscribe. You can find us on every social media platform: YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. You can also catch our videos and articles on our website. All links are in the video description. Thanks for watching, and remember, game anywhere and everywhere.